Birds are addictive when you really see the birds. So I would say it was, I mean, we both grew up with bird feeders, right? And we could identify the common birds that came. But we were in these very stressful careers and living in downtown, 7 blocks from the White House in Washington. And we would find ourselves on the weekends in nature, and there would be a bird. And we're like, what is that? And so Anders would take photos of the birds. And at night, we would go through the bird guide page by page and trying to identify, well, this bird is, its bill is orange on the bottom and brown on the top, and it's got pink legs. Okay, so we would page through, and that's how we really learned the birds to begin with. And one of the things that birders love to do, it's like a treasure hunt, and you have what's called a life list. So you start keeping track of all the birds that you've seen, where you've seen them, and you just want to see, for example, every woodpecker. So we started out as birders, excuse me, and then and photography, and one thing led to another.
Yeah. So I think what began to happen was, in addition to just the awe and wonder of birds, that you could, many birders, and there's a growing number of people that are following them. We began to see these stories behind this, and that's what kind of sent us on this journey. There was so much interesting work being done. So we got into it because of the technologies, and we started by writing for newspapers and magazines about that. But the deeper we got into it, the more we found, a kind of, I would say, franchise story about how people relate to nature. That's the broader story. So that's what the book basically is about, and it's also.
And it started from our website. So
Yeah.
being journalists and newly retired, we started a site called Flying Lessons: What We're Learning from the Birds, and then we were like among maybe 3 bird journalists in the country. So at that point,
Yeah.
so when we started writing for the Washington Post and the Miami Herald, and all of a sudden we started getting calls from scientists and calls from various nonprofits that were tipping us off about, oh, the Florida grasshopper sparrow is going to be the next bird on the continent to go extinct. You need to get down there and write about it. So then we found ourselves at Archibald Biological Station in Central Florida, and we found ourselves out on the dry prairie of Florida, chasing these birds. And we just knew that it was a story that hadn't been told in ways to translate this science into for everyone, so that everybody could understand. So we just basically did what we've done as journalists, started telling stories.